I think there's something genuinely a bit sad about how much I still look up to my idols. Much like me wearing a three-piece suit makes me think I'm Ryan fucking Gosling, holding a cigarette between my fingers makes me think I'm James Dean, or Humphrey Bogart, or Bill Hicks, or Ryan Gosling for that matter. I just am Ryan Gosling, let's move on, let's get over it. And smoking is always one of those really divisive things where some people are disgusted by it and can't understand why anybody would want to smoke, and some people smoke 40 a day and absolutely love every single drag that they take of it, and then there's also the social smokers who do it occasionally when they're drunk and then just forget all about it again, and I don't understand those people at all. We had someone from the NHS come into my school when I was 10 years old. The woman had this doll with her, and I'm talking proper Chucky shit, who had like an open chest, like a see-through chest, and we watched as she inserted a cigarette into the mouth of this innocent doll and lit it, and the empty chest just began to fill with tar, and it was absolutely disgusting. Every single child who was there that day vowed never to smoke after having seen it. And rightfully so. I mean, who in their right mind would see the effect that just one cigarette can have on the lungs and still want to take up smoking? Me, I would. Just a few years down the line. So imagine me 5 years later, seeing my sister smoking out of her bedroom window. I was so disappointed. Then imagine her offering me a drag and me going, yes, actually I will try that. I'll just give it a little go. That was the first time I tried smoking, and it tasted disgusting and made me cough, and I thought, right, well, we'll leave that well alone. And why wouldn't you? It was the same thing when I tried cheese and put it in my mouth and went, oh no, that tastes like it's mouldy and gone off. And they were like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I went, no then, take it away from me. And then at my sister's 18th, I was offered a cigarette again, and knowing full well that it tasted like shit, I thought, well, I'll give it another go. I was a victim of peer pressure despite years of being told not to give in to it. I gave in good and fell in love with the devil. I was the kind of dickhead who would go out at lunchtime and smoke in the park and hope that others would walk past and think I looked cool. From 15 until 21, that's 6 years, I've smoked, and I've loved almost every single cigarette I've had. But the biggest news I've got to tell you is that I have now not had a cigarette for 35 days. Now this isn't my first time trying to quit. I gave up for 40 days a couple of years ago, like a modern day Jesus, in an attempt to get healthy and quit smoking for Lent. Me and my friend did it together and we had moral support, which really helped. We were in the first week of giving up and there was a woman in front of us smoking as we were walking behind her, and she dropped like a half-smoked cigarette on the floor into a puddle, and it was brown and smelly and wet, and we both looked down at it and went, oh, like it was the most beautiful thing in the world just being wasted. But I haven't looked at a cigarette in that way at all this time around. I wanted to set myself a date that I could quit because I didn't want to be one of those people who said, oh, I'll quit when I start uni, or I'll quit when I get a new job, or when I'm not surrounded by people who smoke, or when I finish uni. I mean, everybody kept coming up with excuses for when they'd quit and just never did, and I didn't want to be one of those people. I just wanted to say, I'm definitely going to quit on this date and do it. And so far so good. So on the day after my 21st birthday I said I'm going to quit, and just did it. Stoptober is a thing that is gradually becoming a big deal in England. It's a scheme that is set up by the government to try and get people to quit smoking. The idea is that for the 31 days in October, you don't have a single cigarette, because after 28 days you are 5 times more likely to give up smoking than you are if you last any time less than that. Oh god, I speak like an MP. Now this isn't me preaching to people to try and get them to quit, because even now I still think there is something inherently cool about smoking. But I do think it's genuinely worth taking a look at the website, and I'll include a link to it in the description below. Even if you only last like 5 days, the worst that can happen is you look like a total failure, and there's nothing wrong with that. Take it on the chin. Christ, all this talking about smoking is making me want a cigarette. Please don't think I'm judging you if you still smoke. I'm there for you, brother. I'm with you all the way. I wish I was still one of you, but I'm also quite glad I quit. I don't really know where I stand on smoking anymore. Smoking's a really interesting one for me. I've done lots of videos about trying to quit in the past, or reasons why I smoke, and I'll include links to those in the description below as well. Please, as ever, do leave comments below. Tell me where you stand on smoking. If you're a smoker, tell me when you started, why you started, and if you have any intentions of quitting, because I speak to some people and they say, I just think I'll do it all my life, and that's your call. If you're a non-smoker, tell me, have you ever been tempted? How do you feel when you're around smokers and you're not one of them? And if you're one of these social smokers, tell me your secret. You fascinate me. I'm baffled how you can do it sometimes then give it up, because I tried that and just fell into a spiral of doing it all the time, and that's how I started. So leave a comment below, check out all the videos that I've linked below, and I'll see you next week. I'm gonna go light up a doobie now. I'm gonna go light up a doobie. Because cigars and spliffs don't count in my head as smoking, so I'm making up for it by doing that. You're stealing material from Simon Pegg! You are.